Yeah.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Circle of the Earth Fellowship. I look like I am being really loud. So if I'm being too loud on the stream side, guys, please let me know. But yeah, welcome to another episode of Circle of the Earth Fellowship. We got a pretty interesting topic as always for today. But as always, before we get into that, let's go ahead and say hello to the panel. And we'll do a little housekeeping and then get into it. So welcome everybody. Good to see you. Shabbat Shalom for those who are still under the sun. But yeah, let's go ahead and say hellos and get into it. So first up, we got our dear sister Marsha. Welcome, Marsha. Shalom. Sweet. They may have CEF, yeah. And I'm hoping, guys, I got a new computer. I got my camera that I've had for a while. I get to actually use, so hopefully it's looking good there too. But yeah, I think the streams are going to go a lot better than they have been with technical issues. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't have to deal with that.
Technology, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot into that, right? Because it's definitely a double-edged sword. So, sweet. Well, welcome, Marsha. Let's jump over to Robert. Welcome, brother. Good to see you. I know it's not Shabbat Shalom to you anymore, so Shalom.
Nope, it's not. You just missed it. I think the days are getting shorter too, so.
Yep.
I don't like that. I like summer. Hey, it's a good timing on this technology thing after that whole CrowdStrike fiasco yesterday.
Yeah.
I saw this like many times yesterday. Had to fix a few.
Oh.
Made for a fun day.
Yeah. Yep, it's definitely, it's one of those things, right, that has been put into our lives that we so easily don't notice that we are so dependent on it in a lot of ways, right? And as soon as that's cut off, right, things kind of get a little crazy. And so, that's a part of, I believe, what technology, at least in the modern sense, is going to be used for when it comes to eschatology. So, but yeah, welcome, brother. Let's jump over to our brother Kyle. Welcome, brother. Good to see you. Shabbat Shalom to you. Oh, you're muted. How dare you?
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Good to see you guys. Yeah, my technology is an interesting topic. It's existed in a way we were told it never existed in all of mankind, like computer generation, cell phones, all that. For all of my life, seemingly anyway, was coming into existence. But looking back into history, it seems that what we were told was, I guess impossible technologically, possibly existed in, all throughout time itself. I guess since the beginning, there's always been some form of these technologies that have existed. So I just find it to be really interesting. I'm glad we talk about it.
Yeah, no, I think you hit a good nail there. It's almost like they believe in technological Darwinism, right? That it's actually been this process forward through all out of times, that there's never been a time where the past had more technology than the future, as an example. And so that's so very true, and we're going to look at a lot of those aspects in some videos we got to show, because complexity of tools and equipment has been around for a long time. We think we're so smart and sophisticated, but humans always, are very good at that.
Wendy is saying everybody's low.
Everybody's low?
Well, I don't
Robert
think she said you were, but
What about Frankie?
Okay, I turned up I got Robert max at 200%. I got Frankie, I could turn him up, he hasn't talked yet. Okay, let's try that. Let's do a little sound check. Marsha, count to 5, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Robert,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Kyle,
Inspired, right? Let's just get
4 or 5. Frankie B, count for us, bro.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna jump over to Frankie. Frankie B, you actually sound good to me. Hopefully, you're good to them too.
Sound check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
But yeah, welcome, brother. Good to see you. Shabbat shalom.
Yeah, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Yeah, me and the wife just got done watching Big Brother, and their theme of the year for this summer is AI. How dare they?
You know, AI is a very interesting topic to me because I use it to do a lot of stuff that would make my job as a, kind of the one-man producer, as it would be, doing all the graphics. It saves me so much time, so I'm appreciative, right? But of course they're using that for nefarious reasons too, and that brings me back, right? Technology is such a double-edged sword, and it's like, at least truthers, I think we could say we see them setting up the technology for, that one world, I'll call it the New World Order 3.0, right? But at the same time, every time the pendulum swings in the evil side, right, the Father uses that and swings it back for his own good. And one thing we were talking about when we get on the show is, they record us, they audio record us. Okay, well, video and audio record us of us talking about the Father, and not to take the blue or the black or the red pill, but to take the white pill that's in the scripture, right? To read that and be sanctified and holy and righteous, but also have that foundation that no matter what type of wave comes, right, we know the outcome of all this. He's told us. And so in that peace, in that joy, we can rest. And so even though we're going to be talking about stuff, right, that's scary, they're going to get us, at the same time, in how I see it, no weapons formed against us shall prosper. So sweet. Okay, well, welcome everybody. Let's go ahead and I'm going to try to turn my gain.
They say you're too. Vader, turn yours down a bit.
Okay.
Frankie sounds pretty good. I don't know. Why we am so low, you guys?
Washa, I always sound good.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
You're gonna blow our eardrums out.
Oh my God!
Why could you like Jake? Jake does on his.
Yeah. There you go.
Eat the microphone.
So everybody, hello. Anyways, okay, so let's do a little housekeeping and then we will get into it. So, share screen. Let's bring up this one. And like I like to always do, I like to take a second and shout out to everyone over on Taking the World, especially to Chris and Liz Bailey. We like to show our gratitude because they allow us to come onto their platform and share our pieces of the puzzle with their community, with their family, and so we always like to give recognition of that. And if you are on Take of the World and you never heard of us, we're the Circle of the Earth Fellowship. And we got, what are we at now? We're at 172 videos. We got some comedy bits. We got debate reviews. We talk about all sorts of topics from, genetically modified food and mythical creatures. Now we're talking about technology. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, definitely check us out. And we always like to read the comments from the last videos. And that's awesome that it's on there. I'm going to have to go check and see.
Everybody's cool. Low but Vader.
Gosh, how? Okay, let me jump.
And when
these
earbuds are popping.
Are popping?
Don't you talk.
Well, they're stressing her out.
I'm going to turn myself way down. Hopefully, is that better, Wendy? And is everybody else louder?
Making a lot of noise.
But I'll keep going to it. Shalom Shire Farm said, strange how the live chat doesn't have the same dialogue as when aired. I was going back to reference something that was said and noticed all my comments are gone as well. That's because Graveler Tube
Like to grabble.
gravels.
They like to grabble.
Yeah, they gravel. Graveler Tube gravels. They love doing that. Definitely when it's important topics or reference points. But over on our channel, we don't got any but mine. Just comments help the channel grow. So if you'd like to support the channel, that is one way that you can, for free, just a little bit of time, say hello, say thanks, or say, hey, this is my opinion about the topic y'all shared. Does help the channel grow. We are also live on Lighthouse, so go check us out there. Thank you to all the recent subscribers. Over on YouTube, Dorothy, Burnell, HackYourself.net, and Mickey Refer. Thank you all for your recent subscriptions. Does again obviously help the channel grow. If you're interested in being a part of the panel and or joining in conversation or joining the community, we do have a Discord, and we share various things, memes, scriptures, videos, other content creators. So if you're looking for a kind of community you can talk to, check that out. We also do have... Vader is almost quiet now, though. Okay, I can turn myself up. That's better than me being too low. So I'll stick there. So if you're interested in the merch, or if you're another way to support us is through the merch. You get a cool piece of swag and you get to support the channel, kind of win for win. And then on Lighthouse, if you would like, you can also do the level 1. That's $5 a month, and that's super appreciative. Marsha, Kyle, Tracy Jones, thank you for doing that. It really does mean a lot and helps support the channel, obviously. So thanks again. And then just a couple resources that I like to share. Because it's important to have these resources. Bible Gateway, great place. Bible Hub, I would say, is even better because you got the lexicons, the concordances, all the different versions as well. You can compare them. You can look at the Hebrew, really awesome. Look at the Greek, really awesome. Check it out. And then, of course, I got to shout out to Sacred Texts. They have the Apocrypha. And these books definitely brought changes in my life, so I do suggest the believers that are seeking truth that they check them out and kind of fill it out for themselves. We did do a reading on the Peace Seekers episodes, which are on Sundays, of the Testament of 12 Patriarchs. So if you'd like, if you never heard it and you'd like someone to read it to you, that's a good place to go. And definitely check out the Book of Jubilees. We'll be getting into that after Peace Seekers of the Book of Enoch, which we're currently doing. Tomorrow will be, I believe, part 6 or part 7. So check that out tomorrow. Again, if you're interested, it will be posted after this stream. All right, sweet. We can get rid of this, come back over here, and kind of talk about, get into it a little bit before we start sharing some of the stuff we have to share today. So, yeah, everyone hit so many good points as we've kind of talked about this. We have technologies that are obviously, right, were concocted for evil. We have technologies that were concocted for good. And then we also have technologies that were concocted for evil, but that were used for good, and technologies that were concocted for good that were used for evil, right? And so there's a full spectrum of it. And also how I was kind of talking about earlier, right? These things are the way we're doing this stream, the way we get to work, how we work, all surrounds around technology. Now, I'm not just talking about computers. I'm talking about tools and instruments and, all the different equipment that you could use in all the various trades and jobs out there. All those were created for a purpose. And so then quickly what Kyle was talking about, specifically how they believe in this, technological Darwinism, in which technology has only progressed. It's never regressed. It's only ever been getting better and better and better. And so yeah, we're going to be talking about that tonight. I like to read off the description of the video. So if you want to read along, it's just right down there. But kind of sum up that, and we'll obviously be covering more than this. But yeah, so this is for episode 26, technology. Looking throughout history, it can be seen that technology as a whole has come and gone like the tides. This ebb and flow seems to coincide with the rise and fall of various empires and world powers in their respective times. Though history itself should always be taken with a grain of salt, material evidence such as the Great Pyramids, the Antikythera Mechanism, and the Iron Pillars of Delhi are great examples of how technology fluctuates throughout time. And are these technologies found or rediscovered? In our modern technology, is our modern technology more advanced than we know? Join us as we discuss the topics of technology and the implications for our and future generations' lives from the perspectives of believers seeking the puzzle pieces of truth. So yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell. And I know y'all briefly already kind of gave a smaller nutshell, but I would like to give y'all each kind of a minute to kind of describe or your thoughts, your processes, your theories, your ideas of what technology like we're dealing with now and how it's going to be used in the future, or anything along those lines that you would like to share. Yeah, so let's start with you, Marcia. What are your thoughts, sister?
Well, first off, in technology, I like the day they made a remote control.
Yes.
Anyway, what's coming is not good. And it's going to be because they want to lock us down and control every aspect of us. So that's how I see what technology is. I am so grateful for the internet. And if they ever make that go away, I'll go through withdrawals.
Yeah, absolutely. We all will.
So, but I see it for good. I see it for bad.
Yeah, it's kind of like money, right? Like, think about it. Like, it's good when it works. It's bad when it doesn't. It's good when you have it. It's bad when you don't, right? And so it's like that thing where it's like we do obviously have to walk a thin line, right? Because technology has also made depravity and hedonism way easier, right? You don't no longer have to go and drive the streets to find a bar. You can Google search bars near me, and it will show you every bar that exists in your area, right? And
What would you pick bar?
Well, what I mean is you're muted, Robert. But is I'm saying that makes the depravity, that makes drunkenness that much easier, right?
Oh,
yeah, in so many different ways. But then again, right? We were talking about this before the stream started, how like the evil one, he wanted to separate us, right? We got scattered throughout the nations, but that's also been a benefit because he can't just attack one nation and get us all, right? But yet we have technology where they listen and watch us, but we're also using that technology where they listen and watch to us to talk to our fellow brothers and sisters and believers across the world, right? So how beautiful that is. And so as much as technology has been used for ill, it has also been used for good. And so we have to, as truthers, we got to take us where the evidence leads, and we come to that kind of conclusion. Sweet. So what are your thoughts, Robert?
So anyhow, I was the remote control growing up. Okay.
Go change the button. Go change the channel.
Hey, oh, you changed too fast. No. Yeah. Oh, and what you're on top of what you're saying there, Vader. Okay, we have we're legal marijuana in Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Recreation, whatever. So the place around the corner, they deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't even have to leave the house.
Yeah.
You can just sit there, Uber Eats, bring your food, bring your booze, bring your pot, and just sit there and waste away.
Bring your brothel, right?
Bring your pot, I'm sure. Well,
like you can literally get anything delivered to you.
I don't think they legalized it here yet, but I'm sure you can still get it. So my mom, way back when, she said that there's nothing new under the sun. Okay, she says it's all happened. Everything that you see happening has already happened before and before and before. And I tell you what, I didn't think much. I heard her say that, but I mean, it's never been so profound a statement than I thought it was back then. I see, in America, the moral decay we have, and we think about that, but, that's America. That other nations have gone through the same cycle of moral decay, and, that's the technologies. I've been doing this with you guys and watching this and seeing some of the stuff that you guys have brought up of and Sean with this showing some of the ancient technologies. It's like, wow. I mean, we think we're so all this and something with what we have, but they had technology back then.
Yeah,
They
that's
did.
like we have movies, right, where like if you teleport back in time and you have a cell phone, they're like, what are you, wizard? You know what I mean? But then we look at their like some of their stuff, and it's like, wait, didn't they must have had something, because like, for instance, we'll talk about the pyramids. They had no holders for torches, but these are dark, windowless areas. How would they have been able to walk through these and not had places to put their torches, right? But then you see hieroglyphs. You see hieroglyphs where seemingly they have a light, like a light bulb on top of a wireless staff, right? So it's like, as we're coming more and more into truth, right, it's like making some of these things that seem so fictional, so unbelievable, going on more the side of, wow, actually truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, great points there. What are your thoughts, Kyle?
Yeah, I definitely think truth is stranger than fiction. And I think technology, for the most part, is something, like you said before, a double-edged sword, where somebody can use the same information or resources available to, commit atrocities and abominations, or they can use the same thing to do good and well for others. But then, there are certain technologies, like certain medical technologies, that I certainly don't agree with, no matter how far you take them. It's like going under the knife for certain things is just absolutely, anti the commandments of God and anti the Torah, and using certain types of, experimental medicines on people, or sometimes forced, in these cases. Definitely opposed to those. So it's not that, it itself is evil. It's more that, it's the knowledge and how it can be applied, I guess. The angels who kind of passed all this down in the beginning, as the Book of Enoch talks about, they obviously got the knowledge from the Father, from being in heaven, from the wisdom and understanding given to them. It's not like they created it from their own understanding themselves. They're not God. They were just, using, counterfeiting, or, misusing what they had available to corrupt the creation. So it's, for the most part, it's just a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and I think,
not necessarily good or evil.
Yeah, I think this is because, right, we don't have time travel. At least we don't know that we do, right? But it kind of makes me think of the Terminator, right? Where they use a time machine to go back in time, and now the technology is more advanced in the future because they went back, right? And so it's like you also see things where like just specifically they find that chip, and because they find that chip, they're able to reverse engineer it, right, and make new technologies based upon that. In the alien invasion pieces in plain sight video that I did, one of those things, right, is after the aliens of Independence Day, are defeated on Earth, we then take that information, we take that technology, we reverse engineer it, and now we have these hovercrafts. Now we have these plasma laser, right, guns. And so it's like, I think very much so, a lot of, and I've kind of said this before, when people have paid for there to be archaeological digs in areas, right? If they found some revolutionary technology, something that's going to make the modern technology, let's say, that we had today, they're not sharing that with people. They're saying they created it. They're not saying they found it in some cave in, underneath the pyramids, as an example, right? So how easily someone could come up with an invention that isn't new. It's just something that's rehashed. It's something that's that just came back into the conscious one way or the other. So great points there. All right, and last but not least, Frankie B, what are your thoughts, brother?
Have you ever seen the video Circuit Board Earth? How this realm is laid out like a circuit board?
Oh,
We've had the technology. There's so much technology that runs off the frequency of the pulse coming out of the North Pole that when you cross it with all this scientific technology we have now, yes, they're going to make spaceships. Yes, they're going to make hovercrafts. They're making all these things that were already made, and they're just making them in a new way. The electric bikes, the electric skateboards, all these things that are coming out. It's not like Robert said, nothing new under the sun. We had electric cars. They even have pictures of old solar panels. So
and batteries.
Why would they have those batteries? We've had all this technology they're trying to push on us. And with everything running off of computers and everything's digital, it makes it hard when you're at work and the power goes out. Then your system shuts down. You can't really do nothing.
Dude, and it's not even power anymore, right? It's power, internet. There's so many other parts to it other than power.
Yeah, and we drive battery operated forklifts, and you can't charge your forklift. So I don't like the whole. I like when I first started work and we had paper. Everything was on paper. So if the power did go out, we could still keep working. I mean, we weren't supposed to because of rules, but we would though, and we would use our lights on our forklifts. Everything was propane, and we would continue to get the job done. And if the system went down, we were on paper, so that if the computers all shut off, we could still operate. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I don't like about the whole. And then now they want to put your money digital, so you'll have no more cash. And if that gets offline, then the banking goes down. Then you're going to have major panic throughout the realm. And the technology we had in the old world, the way this realm was set up, it was so much more. You were connected to the realm. You were connected to the earth.
Yeah.
They're separating us from the earth. We have rubber soles. We don't ground anymore. We don't catch the frequency of the ether because we don't even know there is any. We don't know what the ether really is because they really never describe what it is.
And we're not digging our hands in the dirt and planting the seeds and touching the plants. We're just grabbing the plastic wrapped item at the store, right?
And everything's concrete and asphalt if you live in the cities. So you're not getting connected to the realm anymore. And the bells were used for frequencies, the for healing, the pipe organs, all this stuff was frequency driven, which was a more holistic technology for us as a species. You know what I'm saying? We were more in this realm.
And real quick,
and they're disconnecting us from the realm, which the realm is our power source. Not saying other than God, but God created this realm so that we can feed off of the power coming out of the realm. Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, like every aspect of us, right, is electrical. So to not
Yeah.
think that we need electrical inputs from the world would be asinine in my opinion. And so yeah, and real quick to like what you're saying
But
about vibrations and
modern science is taking us away from the frequency of this realm.
well, yeah, and what you were saying with frequency, right? Like back before, right? Let's say frequent, let's just, I won't say back before, in the modern times frequency wasn't really known about, right? But then we realized through research and all that, right, that certain frequencies were negative for the human body, and that
Exactly.
they use that negative frequencies against us. But the
Yes.
fact that they did that research that showed that there was harmful frequencies gave people the ideas to seek the alternative for the positive frequencies. And so again, there's that double-edged sword.
And the changing of the tuning, the 4/4.
Yep.
It used to be 3/4/2, which was a more holistic healing frequency and pleasant to the body.
Yeah.
With the 4/4, it dumbs everything down. And like the heavy metal and all these, the rap, the hardcore rap, all this music is really detrimental to your health. It really is. I mean, you're putting that frequency, you're coming on that low end vibration.
Sorry about that stream, but yeah, no, totally, I totally agree. I accidentally played something before. So okay, first of all, let's get into some sharing. So I'm gonna pull this up for everybody. Okay, just making sure that's that, and pull it up here. Share this one. Boom. Okay, so we're gonna start off with this video real quick. Scientists still can't explain these ancient technologies, so I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna pull this out. We're gonna check this video out, and then let's see how it goes. Oh my God! Do y'all see that? Like, do y'all see how it's not like it's just playing? There's no buffering. Maybe that was me the whole time. Kyle's muted.
Sorry, I was saying no issues and our cameras are on.
Yeah.
Now, Vader, you did rewind it to the beginning. I had it started at
Oh, sorry. Right here.
yeah. There's like yeah,
Okay.
because there's like 12 or 13 different things.
Oh, okay.
I like yeah.
Well, I'm not even opposed to watching those because this is
I mean,
like
they're all
great.
decent.
Yeah. But okay, wait. So since that's like such a good field, is that the same one? Oh,
Two of the links I sent were from the same one, just a different stamp.
Oh, okay. Let me open that back up, and then your other stamp was like here. Okay, let me see if it. Opens.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So let's play this one first, and then we'll play that one.
Cool. No.
Vader, I'm not hearing it on YouTube.
Great. We don't hear it.
We don't hear
No
it.
sound.
What?
No sound, they say.
What? No
How
sound.
dare you!
Y'all hear it, right?
Yeah.
Vader, I'm not hearing it on YouTube.
I just turned it on there so I could hear. Okay. I don't understand why. Let me see. Oh, it's not pushing it. Okay, 1 second, everybody. Properties. Why isn't it...
Mrs. Vader said, someone tell Vader so she doesn't
We
have to
did.
get up. We did.
Okay, sorry, guys. I'm going to have to...
We told him we did.
Okay, let me see. Can I add a new sound? Properties. That's coming through here. Oh. Of course, I had to. This is all on me. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, let's see if y'all can hear now. No, it's not. Still not outputting. Oh, dang it. Alright, what if I do this?
Ancient world, it's discovered.
Okay, that worked. So I need to add another one. Okay, give me just a second, guys, and I will have this figured out. I know what I got to do now. I just got to add it.
I heard it just then.
Yep. So I need to add a new one and then add that in. Okay, source. Audio input. Nope, not that one. How do I just add? I forget how to do this. It's been a minute. Oh, I gotta go here. I remember. Audio. Oh, that's what it's doing. Okay. Alright, let's try again. And then I need to add that in. Okay. Sound, audio. Oh, how do I add it though? I need it over here. Global settings. I gotta add it. Where is it? I'm kind of freaking out, so that's why it's taking me longer. We'll just slow down. Image. Must be audio, right?
I love how we get to go through Vader's brain as he figures things out. He talks about.
He thinks out loud.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So let's get rid of this. Delete this. Okay, then come over here. Okay, wait. Now can y'all hear it?
Fascinated the people
Yeah, y'all should be able to
who
hear
are
it.
now looking to uncover its Antikythera
All right, I'm going to restart that since y'all didn't get it. I apologize. Let's go.
mechanism. Another enigmatic and remarkable artifact on this list is the Antikythera Mechanism. This ancient mechanism was discovered from the ruins of an ancient Greek ship off the coast of Antikythera in 1901. It is a complex mechanism that comprises over 30 bronze gears, dials, and inscriptions that assisted in predicting astronomical events in the 1st century BCE. The Antikythera Mechanism could predict eclipses and positions of the sun, moon, and other planets. The fascinating aspect of this mechanism is how
Other planets.
sophisticatedly and skillfully it was developed thousands of years ago. This represents how the ancient Greeks had such profound scientific and technological knowledge and makes us curious about some of the remarkable inventions that were lost. For several decades, scientists and archaeologists have been studying the Antikythera mechanism in an attempt to unravel its mysteries. They've used everything from X-rays to high-resolution 3D scanning, but they still have many questions unanswered. Who created this mechanism? And what's the purpose behind it? How did the inventors come up with this idea? And from where did they have the knowledge and expertise to create such a complex mechanism? Apart from these unanswered questions, the most intriguing aspect of the Antikythera mechanism is its connection with the Greek mathematician and philosopher Archimedes. Some experts believe that the Greek philosopher is the mastermind behind the design of the mechanism, as it has his famous spiral of Archimedes in its gears. The Antikythera mechanism is a truly remarkable wonder of the ancient world. Its discovery has fascinated the people who are now looking to uncover its secrets. The discovery of the Antikythera mechanism has inspired researchers to learn more about ancient technology and discover more of these ancient artifacts. Number 11. The Phaistos Disc. Next on the list is the Phaistos Disc, which some researchers believed was a type of ancient typewriter. Phaistos Disc is undoubtedly one of the most enigmatic and mysterious objects ever discovered. This unique artifact was discovered from the Greek island of Crete and dates back to around 1700 BCE. The disc is made of fired clay and ancient flying machines. The idea of flight has fascinated civilizations throughout history. Where some civilizations failed to achieve it, there are some civilizations that have come a lot closer. We've heard about these flying machines in several books all over the world. In Vedas, there is a large collection of sacred texts originating in ancient India. These sacred texts mention Vimanas, or flying chariots, that were set to be piloted by the gods. These machines were said to be super fast, agile, and powered by an energy source that was way more advanced than anything known to those people. Similarly, in ancient Greek mythology, there are several stories of flying machines like the winged sandals of Hermes and the flying chariot of Helios. Experts believe that these stories were most likely inspired by real
quick, I want everybody to realize, like, look at that.
You're muted.
Oh, I'm muted? Oh, I'm muted to y'all. Is
Yeah.
that okay? I'm
I
muted
can
to you. Just listen to this real quick.
There are several stories of flying machines like the winged sandals of Hermes and the flying chariot of Helios.
Okay, right here, listen.
Experts believe.
Experts believe. Oh, God.
That looks like the ancient
That's
aliens.
right.
Dude.
It is the ancient alien.
And then
dude.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
all
definitely.
aliens.
Yeah, so therefore...
Gotta be aliens because it's aliens.
It's just ether technology. That's all it is, and they're making it out to be something more, like it's actually special.
Because they have to make it into a space, paradigm. Yeah.
Well, this program this whole thing has all kinds of neat stuff, but it does have to qualify it as some. And when you couldn't just be from what we think it might be, it's from like aliens or something, right?
Yeah. And even the stuff I'm going to show, right? Like literally two of the things I'm going to show, it's like around the globe. Like they have to put that caveat in it, right? They have to put it in a perspective of, this information that they had was because of aliens. But yeah, let's keep chugging.
Likely inspired by real-life flying machines that were used during the ancient Greek period. However, there is no concrete evidence supporting this theory. The fascinating aspect of these ancient flying machines is the mystery that surrounds them. People believe that these machines were capable of showcasing feats that were far beyond the understanding of the ancient people. It is also believed that these machines were powered by technologies that still remain a mystery to this day. The stories and myths revolving around these ancient flying machines inspire us to imagine a world that is more magical and wondrous than the one we know today.
Oh, Vader, I'm sorry. They don't hear anything.
Oh
Or,
my god. Okay, I fixed that issue. I apologize, everyone. This is a new computer, so please bear with me. The groma was the principal surveying instrument of the Roman, the land surveyors. The instrument itself was simple in design, crossed arms resting on a bracket and attached to a vertical staff. The four arms each had a cord with a hanging plumb bob. It was designed to survey straight lines and right angles. On the right is the drawing of the replica of a groma, now in the Science Museum. The original metal parts were found in the workshop of the surveyor Vicius at Pompeii and are now at another museum. And it says, we are fortunate to have the tombstone of a Roman surveyor with a sculpted relief. It's this figure to this left, and I'm going to zoom in here in a minute, which depicts certain attributes of his profession. It is the tombstone of Lucius Abbatius Fastius of the 1st century BC and is in the Museo Corvito at Arena of North Italy. It says the stone relief has a Latin inscription which is translated as following: Lucius Abius Faltus, freedman of Lucius Abius of the tribe of Claudia, surveyor erected this monument while still alive for himself and his wife Aria, Actua, freedwoman of Quietus Arius, and their children, and the freedwoman Zepra. The component parts of the sculptural relief are as following. In the pendant are a shield and spears. Beneath the inscription is a dismantled groma. Above this are the symbols of a surveyor, two facets between them a low seat. So real quick, I think I can go copy link. Oh, it's kind of small, but we can do it like this. So here's the cross shield. Here's a sword, and I think this is the Groma. It's kind of hard to see, but there's the picture of that. And then it says the plumb blobs of a Groma. These plumb blobs are examples of what Roman carpenters, bricklayers, and surveyors used to trace vertical lines and determine horizontal planes. Plumb bobs are usually conical and are either made of brass, bronze, or iron. And it gives there the descriptions and the point of them. The point to the right, usually made of bronze, was placed in the end of the staff to secure the Groma in position before surveying. It is possible that this example was used either on a Groma or on a measuring staff. So yeah, they would stick it into the ground, and they would use these plumb bobs to create right angles and straight lines. This is how they created the Colosseum. This is how they created the roads and the streets. This is how they created their buildings and their temples. All these different things were used. Now we have a electronical survey now that has a camera on it and uses sensors and all that stuff to do something that they could have done literally with sticks and rocks, right? I guess they're not rocks, they're metal. But what my point is like, look at these. These are sophisticated, created items, right? These aren't just crude instruments. A lot of thought and went into this, and obviously the mathematics had to be right for them to be able to have these things. And so there's tons of examples like that. Another one is the heliotrope. Don't know if y'all have ever heard about this. Great proof that the Earth is not a spinning ball. But it says the heliotrope is an instrument that uses a mirror to reflect sunlight over great distances to mark the position of participants in a land survey. The heliotrope was invented in 1921 by the German mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss. The word heliotrope is taken from the Greek helios, meaning sun, and tropes, meaning turn. Heliotrope was used in survey from Gauss survey in Germany in 1921 through the late 1980s, when GPS measurements replaced the use of heliotrope in long-distance observations. So they went from the grope to the heliotrope, right? And what does this do? This uses... Okay, it says surveyors use the heliotrope as a specialized form of survey targeting. It was employed during large triangular surveys where, because of the great distances between the stations, usually 20 miles or more, a regular target would be indistinct or invisible. Heliotropes were often used as surveying targets at ranges over 100 miles.
Does that allow for the curvature?
I find this highly suspect. First of all, your vertical plumb bob, there's no way that can make a straight line up and down when the Earth is rotating at 1,000 miles an hour. It would sway.
Shouldn't they all be pendulums? Shouldn't
Well, they have a curved level.
A curved level, yes, and it accounts for the speed.
And it's called a plumb Joe, not a plumb Bob.
But yeah, look at this, guys. So in California in 1978, a heliotrope on Mount St. Helen was surveyed by BA Colonial of the United States Coast and Geodetic Survey from Mount Shasta, a distance of 192 miles. That was a straight line of sight, guys. That's a beam, a reflection. And here's a good example. The sun comes in, it hits the mirror, it goes straight through the line, and so they can target where they want that light beam to go. And as it just said, right, they used it for large triangulation surveys, where it would be ranges of over 100 miles. How dare I? And then what was that?
How dare you?
It says the heliotrope was limited to use on sunny days and was further limited in regions of high temperature to mornings and afternoons where atmospheric aberration least affected the instrument's man's line of sight. The heliotrope operator was called a heliotroper or flasher and would sometimes employ a second miner for communication with the instrument station through heliograph, a signaling system using impulse reflecting surfaces. The inventor of the heliograph, a similar instrument specialized for signaling, was inspired by observing the use of heliotropes in the survey of India. So yeah, guys, more technology that they use for, so what kind of one of the main points that I kind of wanted to talk about here, right, is they said we've been spread out, and okay, maybe that's the case, but these same ideas have transitioned throughout the years. The Romans used a grome, and in the 1800s we used the heliotrope for these same tools. So of course throughout history, right there, right, you see that technology changes and goes up and down and shifts up and down, and until what we have till today. And so another thing like that, another thing I mentioned, right, were the pyramids. And we often think of, when we hear the word pyramids, we often think of pyramids that are pyramids that are in Giza. But there's pyramids all around the world. That technology was deployed all around the world. So we're gonna check out. Go ahead.
Yeah, would a level work on a spinning globe? No, I'm dead serious. Would a level? Would we find a level and a plumb on a spinning globe?
I don't know, because
I don't think we would.
Well, we can't get on a globe to find out. So
I think it only works on a flat plane, and I don't think anyone's ever brought that up.
That's a great convenient argument, right? Just to
Right.
say, of course it works because we're on a globe.
It's relative.
Yeah. And so just like pyramids around the globe. But let's check this out.
Did you know that there are over 5,000 pyramids currently on this earth, on different continents, and made with a range of materials? Hello and welcome to Ancient History Encyclopedia. My name is Kelly, and today we're going to have a look at pyramids in Egypt and around the world. Even though there are over 100 pyramids...
Okay, obviously
You see the globe.
you see the globe, but then you have Athena right here. This is Athena, warrior, god of, daughter of Zeus. And it'd be interesting to kind of check out these books, but let's keep chugging.
Pyramids in Egypt. These triangular architectural feats are found all over the world, including in places such as Peru, China, Cambodia, and even Italy.
What happened? We're all staticky.
Let's start off with what a pyramid
Getting a little
actually is.
feedback.
How do you define a pyramid? Well, pyramids are often square-based, although there is such a thing as a triangle-based pyramid. They are often monumental structures with sloped sides, which reach a point at the top. The function of pyramids changes between groups and cultures, and often they will be stepped rather than flat-sided. It wouldn't be surprising if when you heard the word pyramid, you thought of the spectacular flat-sided pyramids of Giza at Egypt. However, there are many pyramids around the world which have very different form and function. Before we jump into the lesser-known pyramids, let's start off with the most iconic, the pyramids of Egypt. The Egyptian pyramids are royal tombs, built as the final resting place of the country's great kings. It is believed that the spirit of the king can move to the afterlife of the field of reeds through the point at the top, and then easily travel back down to earth if he desires. The most iconic of these structures, built between 2589 and 2504 BCE, are the three pyramids of Giza, including the Great Pyramid, which is the only surviving wonder of the seven wonders of the ancient world. Egypt has approximately 138 pyramids, all ranging in size throughout the country, but they all have the same function. The first pyramid in Egypt was the famous step pyramid at Saqqara for King Djoser, and the first flat-sided pyramid was completed in the 4th dynasty under the reign of Sneferu, called the Red Pyramid.
Okay, so I'm not going to play this whole video, but, or y'all can't hear me. So I'm not going to play this whole video, but I'm just going to kind of skip through it here at this point because she's saying so much just, mainline science. But pyramids of China, so let me...
CE. And by the 18th century, the circulating theory was that China was a colony of priest A. Kircher. In the 17th century, chariots and over 100,000 weapons were found. The pyramids were the burial places for the royals and elite of China, with empresses, children, and concubines all having been found.
So you say. All right, let's jump over here. Cambodia.
Pyramids in Asia, or the stepped pyramid. In Cambodian, pyramid is known as a prang, and the prang of Prasat Thom extends to over 36 meters, and it's older than the famous Angkor Wat temple.
Let me go back. I want to show that.
The Nubian pyramids
Picture.
are best known to circa 921
Here we go. Look at that. Same idea.
CE. This stepped pyramid with the Meroe,
Okay.
the capital city of Kush, which was later known as Nubia.
Kush, huh? That sounds familiar. Whose son was Kush? I think Kush had a son.
And is modern-day Sudan in Africa. These structures began appearing as the tombs of the kings of Meroe after the Egyptian pharaoh Thutmose I conquered the region in circa 1500 BCE, and the later campaigns. Believe it or not, the Americas have more pyramids than the rest of the world combined, and the Inca, Aztec, Maya, and Olmec cultures all built pyramid-like structures for royal burials and for their deities. Mesoamerican pyramids were artificial mountains, thought to invite the gods down to a home which they would find both familiar and comfortable. The Mesoamerican pyramids differ from those in Egypt as they feature a flat top and are more similar to the step pyramids of early Egypt. The greatest Mexican pyramid is at Tenochtitlan, which was the capital city and the religious center of the Aztlan, is known as the Temple Mayor and was built in honor of the gods. Huitzilopochtli, the god of war, and Tlaloc, the god of rain, in circa 1300s. On the outskirts
Interesting. Okay, let's skip over to more Mesoamerica.
pyramid are stone serpents, which may be a decorative choice inspired by the Toltec city where they first appear. The largest Mesoamerican pyramid site is Teotihuacan, although no one knows the original name. The present name comes from the Nahuatl language of the Aztecs, and it means something along the lines of the place where the gods were created. No one knows who built this site or why, but most likely it was built to represent the home of the gods.
Oh. They just built this huge building for no one who ever would show up, right? Totally believable. All right, we got obviously the pyramids of
The
Peru.
indigenous peoples. The site became known as Purgarito, or Purgatory, because Christian priests had native people who refused to convert carried to the top and thrown off. The
Christians are bad. Pagan gods are good.
construction of these Cestius was built during the reign of Augustus, between circa 18 and 12 BCE. The monumental structure is 30 meters high and made out of white marble. On one side, there's an inscription, and in translation it reads, Gaius Cestius Apullo, son of Lucius, of the Pobilian district, praetor, tribune of the people, official of the public banquets. According to his will, this work was completed in 330 days. It was executed by his heirs, Lucius Pontus Miller, son of Publius, of the Claudian district, and his freedman, Pothus.
Okay,
Underneath the
I would like to see us be able to build this in less than a year. I would like to see that. I don't know if we could.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, so, and then we've got modern pyramids, which is obvious. Okay. Sweet. And so I'm going to play one more video of this same kind of idea, because kind of trying to
When we think
put a point home, and of course they got to show the globe, right? All the pyramids are connected. A global civilization built them. And that's kind of where I'm going with this, but let's not global, but yeah, let's go.
of pyramids, our minds immediately wander to the sandy deserts of Egypt or the mysterious ruins of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. But what if I told you that the story of pyramids is not just confined to the sands of Giza or the jungles of Tenochtitlan? Across the globe, there are over 1,000 pyramids, each with its own untold story. From the heart of Sudan's desert to the remote islands of Indonesia, from the ancient plains of Greece and Bosnia to the unexplored deserts of Australia, pyramids dot our planet in numbers far greater than most of us ever realized. There are practically hundreds, if not thousands of these enigmatic structures on every single continent. But why have these other pyramids remained in the shadow, the ones aside from Egypt and Mexico? What secrets do they hold? Among these forgotten pyramids lies a mystery so profound that it could rewrite the history of human civilization as we know it. So, let's take a closer look at all 1,255 of them. Unlike organic materials, pyramids and the stones they're built with cannot be carbon dated. The dates historians ascribe to the pyramids are at best educated guesses. Based on nearby artifacts or writings, these guesses are never directly deduced from the pyramids themselves. There are 118 pyramids in Egypt, yet, curiously, no culture on Earth, not even the Egyptians, left us a detailed account of how these colossal structures were built, or who built them. The walls of tombs and temples in Egypt are adorned with thousands of hieroglyphs, depicting daily life, religious rituals, and royal achievements, yet among these intricate carvings, there are no clear records of the pyramid's construction. A construction that supposedly lasted decades. Either when these were built, there was no form of writing, or when we found them, the civilization that had built them was already long gone. Either way, pyramids are much older than historians believe. Mainstream historians would want us to believe the pyramids were Egyptian tombs, but in fact, most of them are neither Egyptian nor tombs. In Sudan alone, there are 255 pyramids, which is twice more than Egypt. In South and Central America, over 200 pyramids have already been discovered. Heck, there are 30 pyramids in the jungles near Mexico. What about the vast Amazon rainforest that we're just beginning to scan? There are ancient pyramids in the US, namely in Illinois, in Indiana, across Europe, in Greece, Ireland, Bosnia, and even Italy and Turkey. Yes, some of these are covered in soil and might look like hills. Perhaps some of them really are hills. But before we rule these out, take a look at the ones in Mexico before the excavations. They looked like pyramid-shaped hills too. Compare our big cities. All of them have skyscrapers. We've shared the construction knowledge globally with each other. It wasn't different countries discovering the same thing separately. In 1885, the first skyscraper was built in Chicago by the Chicago architect, and 3 years after, the same thing was copied in Melbourne, Australia, and in New York. Look how different these two are on the exterior. The similarities in pyramids worldwide hint at more than mere chance. They are more similar than the two skyscrapers we showed. Similarly, in modern times, skyscrapers share structural elements across continents. And this is not by coincidence. Pyramids do too. Take a look at some of the pyramids confirmed as legitimate by historians. Most of them are oriented toward the north, which practically means that one of their sides is parallel to the compass needle pointing north. This isn't always the case, because they've been built over a large period, and north moves. By knowing that, we could estimate when they were built if we just checked how many years
Yeah, the north moves.
ago the pyramid was pointing precisely toward the north. Most of the pyramids are near a river or over an underground water source, and they are often built in complexes, multiple buildings, not just one. Wikipedia and historians label any suggestion of pre-Columbian cross-ocean contact as pseudo-archaeology, pseudo-history, and almost a conspiracy theory. But look at these three-step pyramids. These are in Egypt, Central America, and Southeast Asia. thousands of miles away. The key argument historians will use here is that a pyramid is a primitive and very easy to build form. This is ridiculous, guys. Forget what you heard. Look and think on your own. Could it be that the once global civilization was behind all of these architectural marvels? There was such a...
Do y'all think that a civilization could have been behind all of these pyramids around all the world? Sounds familiar. It's like everyone was working together. They probably all spoke one language at some point, right? To all have this exact same idea.
All of that was working together.
global
Probably all spoke
civilization.
one
Wouldn't we
language.
find the same drawings?
At some point, right? To all have the
stories everywhere? We would. And we have. Around these megalithic sites, we often find the same elements carved into the stones. How come all of these wall ornaments show the same thing? Is this a bag? I don't know what it is, but it's definitely the same thing. Yet, these images were taken thousands of miles away. Look at these symbols. They're the same symbols, just influenced by local cultures. This snake, many believe it symbolizes DNA, but I'm a fan of a different story. Look at how the stories of certain deities are always the same anywhere you go. After a flood or a great cataclysm, there comes a deity that helps humanity. In the Vedic texts, these are the Nagas. They are considered an important part of the natural and supernatural world. They are often described as dwelling in underground realms, or in bodies of water such as rivers, lakes, and oceans. They've helped mankind many times in times of trouble. In Egyptian culture, that is Thoth. He is primarily known as the god of wisdom, writing, and magic. And the moon. Thoth was believed to be the divine scribe, record keeper, and mediator between gods and humans. In the Bible, this is Enoch. He speaks between angels and humans. In Greek mythology, that is Hermes. Hermes speaks and mediator between gods and humans. In the Bible, this
In the Bible, wait, I'm listening.
is Enoch.
Enoch, I thought that was Apocrypha.
He speaks between
Wait, in the Bible,
and humans.
Enoch. Wait, I'm
Mythology,
listening.
That is Hermes.
This is Enoch.
Hermes Trismegistus.
Enoch. Wait, I thought that was. Wait, in the Bible.
And
The
Mark
Greek
the
god
one
Hermes
echoing?
and the Egyptian god Thoth. The truth is, these might not have been gods, but instead the survivors from the previous civilization. The ones who acted like gods and waged wars among themselves because some desired to help the ordinary survivors, us practically. Just like the symbols and details, there are also structural elements that appear the same. What about these stone nubs all across the world? In Peru, China, Japan, Indonesia, Sudan, Greece. They're practically everywhere, on megalithic sites across all 5 continents, just like the pyramids. Yeah, it makes sense. They could have been used to attach wooden structures to the stones, and perhaps that was their purpose. But have they all done the same design? So not a single person came up with a different solution to this problem, all across the world. Knowing all of this, we're approaching evidence of an ancient global civilization, very similar to ours. Now, let's explore the pyramids further. Hundreds of pyramids are confirmed, but thousands remain unverified, hidden in places like Antarctica or underwater. We know nothing about them. These could radically change our view of history. Often dismissed as mere hills by mainstream historians, many of these pyramids are simply buried under dirt and soil. But take a look at what confirmed pyramids look like before being excavated. They look exactly the same as the unconfirmed ones we're seeing. And remember how pyramids are oriented toward the north, some of them at least? This is the alignment of the Great Egyptian Pyramid of Giza. This is the one of Bosnia. And this is the White Pyramid of China. Despite how clear it is that this is a pyramid, Chinese authorities closed the area, and the military still guards it. And Bosnia's pyramid is still unconfirmed. And I already visited that on my own to check for myself, and it is really a pyramid. And the Chinese have ever since denied the existence of these pyramids. The Chinese government even funded local farmers to grow crops over the area to mask the pyramids and hide them from the world. Pyramids covered by soil are not the most controversial ones. Many underwater structures spark the same debate over their authenticity. Finding pyramid ruins deep on the ocean floor would be astonishing, and it would imply they were built 500,000 years ago. And these discoveries are likely to face the most censorship. Many of the underwater pyramids shown across the internet can easily be debunked as volcanoes or just natural formations. As in our pursuit of finding mysterious ancient civilizations, we sometimes get distracted and fall into confirmation biases. Yet, there's some that I don't know what to think about. Underwater pyramids near the Azores Islands were debunked as a volcano, but at the same time, there are a dozen pyramids on these islands, like real pyramids. And look at the GPS scans. This doesn't really look like a volcano. It is at a depth of 40 meters away from the coast of Terceira Island. The formation is perfectly squared, and it is estimated to be almost 60 meters high. So this one remains a mystery. The Baltic Sea anomaly was confirmed to be a hoax, but there are more than a few confirmed sunken, man-made structures that have been discovered under the oceans. And some of them do look like pyramids to me. Look at Kambath, India, a 32,000-year-old underwater city. Another one is the Yonaguni Monument in Japan, which nobody knows who built it and when. It truly looks like a giant pyramid-like object, and there are several findings in the ocean near Cuba that resemble pyramids. Many believe the Yonaguni Monument belonged to the legendary lost civilization of Mu, or Lemuria. It's found 30 meters deep in the Philippine Sea, which means it has to be at least 13,000 years old at the bare minimum. It's 100% scientifically undisputed that the ocean levels rose dramatically 13,000 years ago in the younger, driest period of human history. This is extreme.
They know that because they sent someone back in time 13,000 years ago, and all of this was not underwater. Just FYI.
Well documented. Many theorize that the warming that followed and melted the ice resulted in floods and sea level rising was caused by some sort of meteor impact. Whatever civilization we found underwater, the structures there were built more.
Hey, do you notice it's always a meteor of some type?
I don't know what you mean, but go check out Dan Azusko, however you pronounce that. Great video, but I want to stop it there real quick before you go on, Frankie. I have this short little video that I want to play, and then we'll kind of talk about it. So actually, I'm gonna mute it, and I'm gonna kind of skip through it. So all around the world, as he was saying, you have things like this where they say, oh, those are just mountains. But he clearly showed that these mountains, once excavated, can totally be pyramids, like the example of the ones in Mexico. So we have all these examples all across the world of these technologies that have been repeated and used all thousands and thousands of miles away. Well, per mainline history, right? That's not true. These people didn't talk to each other. They didn't know each other. The exploration, they didn't know anything about the Earth, and that was all figured out way later. And to me, it's just so obvious that it's not true. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts about what I've showed so far. Can anyone hear me? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I think it's pretty wild that we still, as a modern culture, look back on those magnificent feats, and claiming that we know those people never had any contact with each other, and yet somehow they can all build these impossible structures that we could never even do today. I mean, it's maybe possible that it could be done today, but we don't really know because no one's ever been able to replicate the sophistication that they have there. Being able to stick a card between a piece of paper, between those bricks. It's just it's counterintuitive to the thought process to believe that they were just dumb sheep herders and lived in the Bronze Era and they didn't know anything about the world. They thought the world was just flat and they were just just dumb, but yet we're able to build those things. It just kind of baffles me.
Yeah, it really does. It really is. Anyone else have some thoughts for us?
Well, some of those are like ziggurats. And I think they actually did, with the flat top, I think they did a lot of sacrificing on those.
To the gods.
So, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of dark intent behind most of those things for sure.
Yeah, it's always a meteor that causes an ice age or destroys or buries it under the water. It's always some type of plasmatic event, and they call it science fiction. It really just sounds like they're making this stuff up as they go along. 13 million years ago, this was found. This, da 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 da. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they're making it up.
How do you come up with 500,000 years or a million years? And how do you come up with those numbers? You're just pulling them out your.
Yeah, and they're
5 billion years ago, yada yada yada.
Yeah. Even 13,000, that's unverifiable, unfalsifiable. Saying that it's obvious and everyone knows that 13,000 years ago there was that the sea level rose X amount. No, you cannot say that. That is dumb. But what he did do is, I think he did a great job in that video, as well as the lady before, is showing that this technology isn't just in Egypt, it's all around the world. Not only that, Egypt has the least amount of pyramids.
That's what amazing
the world.
Well, all around the world. Around, right? Like around, like a.
See, those things are underwater. Seems to me about 4,000 years ago there was this flood, and it does say the water dissipated, but it didn't say that it went back down to where it was.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's Kyle, did you get to say something or no? You what are your thoughts? You did.
Yeah, I started off saying.
Oh, okay. Okay, sweet. Let's share some more. This is an article. So it says how ancient Greeks predicted killer robots and self-driving cars. This is from the Grabbler York Post. It says the ancient Greeks are celebrated for laying down the foundations of Western civilizations, but according to a new book, they also had another hidden talent, predicting future tech. This is the remarkable claim by the Stanford University historian Adriana Mayer, who is the upcoming Gods and Robot, argues that Greek myth prefigured artificial intelligence, robots, and self-driving cars and modern technology. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. This is remarkable claim, right? That what actually happened is that the Greek myth, they were so good with their creating sci-fi that their sci-fi actually predicted the future. Adrian Mayer, they had that technology and they were talking about that technology, and that technology that we have today is just nothing's new under the sun, and we're just getting a rehash of that old quote unquote old technology.
Yeah, someone's chat. They think they're dumber. We're dumber now than they were then, and it's true.
Yeah, it's so. I use that term, technological Darwinism, right? Like that it's a process over time that it just gets better and better. All right, we got a few videos here. Let's short clips. Let's go ahead and watch these, and we'll talk about it after. Pretty interesting, right? Let's keep
Surprised
going.
to learn that Nikola Tesla's death ray device was inspired by descriptions in ancient Indian texts? In the Mahabharata, the Brahmastra device is described as a weapon of unimaginable power, but it is thought that it can still be built today if access to the correct materials and understanding of the technology was applied. Tesla knew this. To him, this technology was pretty obvious, so he drew up the blueprints for a device that existed in ancient India at the time of creation when the gods walked the earth. It is unclear how exactly he arrived at this knowledge, but clues can be uncovered if you consider that Nikola Tesla knew about the Akashic records in 1907. Tesla said the following: "All perceptual matter comes from a primary substance, or tenuity beyond conception, filling all space."
How dare you, Nikola Tesla, telling all the people all the stuff. Okay, one more, just goes right along with Tesla.
Jet, also known as the flying pulpit. They say that this is nothing more than just a jet engine. But I think this is the controllers dabbling in the electromagnetic levitation technologies of the old world. Just look how none of the grass or foliage is disturbed, making really low passes, and making turns and maneuvers seem effortless. Levitation technology has been around for quite some time. Just look at the flying Vimana of India, and all the artwork from the old world. So many of them depicting flying and levitating craft. Or not to mention, one of the real reasons Admiral Byrd went to the Antarctic, to stop the Germans in their experimentations with electromagnetic levitation and the crafts that they designed from it. Just another bit of technology, years ahead what they show us in the mainstream.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying all along. That video confirms everything I've been saying. All right, my bad.
No, you're totally good, bro, and you're totally good, and that's totally right, because we literally, and that was one of my questions, like, do we have more advanced technology than we seem? Like, we can look around and be like, well, we have all of this advanced technology. This would be like magic and sorcery to people before us. But yet we're looking at the old world and we're seeing technology that's old, right? And was already mentioned multiple times, there's nothing new under the sun. And so while we say we have it, more advanced technology than they're letting on, we know that's true, at least in some part. Furthermore, that technology isn't advanced technology, meaning like, oh, it's better than the other. They've had this stuff. They've had this technology. They've known these things for a long time. Again, there's nothing new under the sun.
I think it's more refined now and a higher grade. Like, they can make it look like so sophisticated that it is alien software. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to make a hovercraft like in that video, but they're going to make it look like it's out of this world or from another galaxy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they just came out with another, an underground vessel. They call it the Manta Ray. It lives under the ocean, and it's unmanned, and it can go on missions, but it looks exactly like a Manta Ray, under the ocean. And the problem they're having with it is fish are attaching to it, barnacles are attaching to it, because they think, the fish think it's another, like a Manta Ray, you know what I mean? And so they have all kinds of stuff they've been working on using the frequency technology. And they're upgrading it with the computer system, the computer chips that we have. And I really think our internet flows off of that same ether frequency. We have the internet because of the electromagnetic pulse coming out of the North Pole. They're sending all this information over that, and they're using the antennas to receive it. and pass it along and make it move. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the old buildings from the old world, the sacred buildings. They used to have these brass balls and they loaded them up with mercury and they'd put them real high up so that they could gather atmospheric energy, which is free energy. The higher you go up, the more energy that's up there. And they would run, for example, a copper wire down into their home, and they could use that if they wanted free energy or to light their light bulbs or whatever things that they had in the home. A lot of this is never disclosed because, for example, when we look at all of these things from the past, we start to look at a lot of things were about electrical conductivity. Look at that. They all look like conductors, right? Sacred buildings looking like conductors. They're built like conductors. There's free energy right there. Free energy right there. But the thing is they changed all the history to make it look like everybody was fighting each other. It was medieval. People were going against each other. But in reality, I think the hidden history of the past is very different than what we've been taught.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was a great little video there. All right, we got a couple more. What were you gonna say, Robert?
No, I'm just reacting to that dude.
Isn't he so handsome? Aren't we just so happy? He's our hero. Thank you, Bill Gates, for trying to take the population nearer close to zero. All right, let's see what we got here. Oops.
In the book.
Okay, there we go. I really need to switch that so when y'all can't hear me, y'all can tell me because I have it in two different. Anyways, yeah, let's check out these last time Naphtali, Testaments of 12 Patriarchs. But let's watch this video.
Book of Revelation, it speaks of a day and age where you will not be able to buy, sell, trade unless you have the mark of the beast. Is there a system out there that can single-handedly control organizations, businesses, and entities? I think we're seeing a clear example of this right now.
And there's still a lot of questions about the unprecedented outage. Thank you for joining us on this Friday. I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Simon Shakett. It is payday for millions of Americans, and many cannot afford a delay. Banks going offline, only the beginning of the widespread impact, all out of control. Airport, internet, medical, and transit troubles making the list.
Some cyber experts are calling this the largest IT outage in history.
As you walk around the food aisle, you may notice different types of cereals as an example. But what if you were to actually do the research to understand that most of our food system is monopolized? Most of our energy grid, communications, food industry is monopolized. Slowly but surely, we've been in a point in time where everything in this world is being condensed like in a funnel, with the aim of controlling every aspect of humanity on this earth. Many of these outages, in my personal opinion, they're not outages. These are tests and functions that are taking place to test their systems, to test if they can indeed control all of what they control. This was a global situation. And yet does not Revelation 13:16-17 express a global situation?
A simple security update, the kind that usually causes barely a ripple of recognition, instead triggered a worldwide tsunami of technological breakdown. Airport information panels turned to blue screens of death in the US, red in France. Worldwide, more than 4,000 flights cancelled. Huge queues built up from Singapore to Spain, from Delhi to Dubai. Breaking news, itself broken at source. Crucial health systems like the NHS app infected with the same digital disease.
And he causes all, both small and great. It doesn't matter your social class, rich or poor. That doesn't matter either. Free and bond. That doesn't matter either. to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So this is describing a system that has a database of information. And whenever you're going to buy or sell, it's going to go into the database to see if you're in that database and if you have the permissions needed in that database to partake of the system. We're in a time, we're in a day where such infrastructures are not only just being created, because AI is now creating AI, but they're being tested. And yet people are asleep. And yet people aren't prepared. And I'm not talking about being prepared in the physical, because all of this is going to rust and die and perish. I'm talking about mentally taking our thoughts captive to the Word of God. I'm talking about mentally prepared so that we can be ready when these moments come, when fearful sights may appear in the heavens, when moments that may cause many to tremble. Are we ready? Are we prepared? And we can only be prepared when we fully submit ourselves to the Heavenly Father. There's something going on. And you've noticed this ever since many
Astronauts and demons shaking hands. I bet he works for NASA.
years ago, the consolidation of information and of real estate, and they tell you you're not going to go own anything and you're going to be happy.
This is the plan that I have repeatedly warned about, to take the tools of oppression used to tackle the coronavirus and use them all, lockdowns, forced business closures, exclusion zones, isolation. We heard Angela Marsden earlier, businesses shut down, isolation at home, all of that, all of those measures, including destroying private property rights and private income in order to tackle the climate crisis.
Now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity to learn lessons and reset ourselves on a more sustainable path.
How dare you!
We have never had before and may never have again. So we must use all the levers we have at our disposal, knowing that each and every one of us has a vital role to play.
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up call. It is imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate, and rebalance our world. Rebalancing investment, harnessing science and technology, and advancing the transition to net zero emissions, all elements of the Great Reset, are fundamental to building the future we need.
And you have Blackstone, you have BlackRock, you have all of these investment companies buying. A large portion of water companies in the United States of America have smart meters. A large portion of energy providers across America and in the world have smart meters, right? You're noticing that we're shifting more and more towards a digital type of ownership in this world. Once upon a time, if you wanted to listen to a CD and a music, you would go buy the CD, but it was yours. It's your property. You can sell it. You can trade it. You can do whatever you want with it. Now, it's all digital. You pay a membership. You pay a membership at Spotify, and it grants you a license to enjoy the music, right? You pay a membership at Netflix, and it grants you the license to enjoy the film.
Just shut your palm real quick. We may scan it.
I hope you don't use that.
The idea of using your palm to pay doesn't feel right for this Whole Foods customer, but others like the idea.
I don't know who else can get into my palm, really, but I'm not really against it.
The technology coming to the Bay Area Whole Foods stores over the next few weeks works like this. Amazon says no two palms are alike. They use vision technology. You hold your hand above the device, which scans and takes less than a minute to create a palm signature. Your palm is connected to your credit card online, so whenever you want to pay, all you have to do is hover your palm.
You will own nothing, and you'll be happy. Even in the United States of America, if you own the title in your house, what would happen if you don't pay the taxes? Is it really yours? Or is this all an illusion? Something's going on. But as it's going on, may we always remember that the King of Kings is still the same King of Kings that he was in the days of Noah, Moses, Isaac, Jacob, Abraham. He's still the same. He has not changed. It's
Okay, gonna have to disagree with you there, because he's obviously changed. Like he told, what was that, Nineveh, that he was gonna destroy it, and he didn't.
I muted y'all. I'm sorry, but yeah, Nineveh, right? Jonah at Nineveh, like did God change his mind there, or are you saying no? He never was going to change their mind despite their behavior. A lot of great points, but I feel like all the mystery music and blah 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 is a little too much on the black pill side. And though as we've talked about, right, these are building up to that beast system. We all know that. We can all see that. There is a very, very big signifier mark that has to event that has to happen before the mark of the beast could ever happen in the first place. And I think we mentioned it off a stream. It definitely was off stream, particularly about the mark of the beast and how it's been used as this kind of like Y2K and acid rain and the ozone layer and global warming. There's all these, fears that are put out, and within the, truth community, the mark of the beast is definitely one of those that is used all the time. The beer bug jab is the mark. The RFID chip is the mark, and they're definitely testing these things out. But it's not. And at least in my opinion, we're waiting on some very specific things to happen.
Right.
You don't think they had a mark when the temple was around, right? There was no mark when the temple was around, right? In the first century, that couldn't happen, right? Nah, couldn't happen then. In the first century, when there was a real temple, Marcia, a real temple.
Yeah, no, I completely disagree with that. I don't think they had I don't think that there's no. At least if that all event happened, that's in such a big scope of idea.
On there.
Yeah.
But as for what that video was, whether it was going into Revelations and the mark of the beast and all like that, it was mainly the technology. I didn't even know they had a palm thing that once you put it on your card and then you just show your palm. I had no clue that was actually something that they're actually using. So
yeah, and they have other stores where it's not even your palm. They just watch you and they see what you pick up and they know who you are because it's facial recognition. So there's so many, there's so much push for this, like they said, this digital age. While we're right up against the point where you get a blue screen of death, and then all these transport are all offline. And if they could, let's say they could just switch off the internet for you, Marcia, because you believe in God and you profess it online.
Right.
Marcia, you can't have AC anymore. No more electricity for you. All right, and I think we've kind of already talked about AI, and it's definitely another technology that can be for good or for ill.
They're talking about doing robotic surgeries where, and what if that goes offline in the middle of a surgery, and there's no doctor available because there's just a technician running the machine?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy, right?
So crazy. All right, this is from AI Uncovered. Let's see what they got to say.
There will come a point where no job is needed. The AI will be able to do everything.
It can do all kinds of things. And when something can do all kinds of things, I get a little bit worried.
While it's hard to predict exactly what the world will look like in 10 years, one thing is certain: AI will play a major role. In this video, we'll explore some of the most exciting possibilities for AI over the next decade. From autonomous vehicles to virtual assistants that are indistinguishable from humans, the future is full of potential. So let's get started and see what is in store for us. Number 1, Healthcare 2.0.
Responsible use of AI means keeping humans in the loop. So we're using AI as an assistant. Having this available to your doctor is very, very helpful. So that is a great use of AI.
In the next decade, the integration of artificial intelligence, AI, into medical research and healthcare will transform how we understand and treat diseases. Currently, we're witnessing the initial stages of this revolution.
Because we all know the reason why they're spending all of this money is so that we can live longer, right? All this technology, research and development, all to help us live longer. But we all know the reason why they're spending all of this money is so that we can live longer.
AI algorithms will analyze vast amounts of medical data, ranging from patient records to genetic information, identifying patterns and insights that humans might overlook. This data-driven approach will lead to earlier disease detection and more personalized treatment plans. Additionally, AI-powered diagnostic tools will enhance accuracy and efficiency in identifying illnesses.
Oh yeah, thank you for that CGI rendering of that not dead, not alive, not undead thingy that can kill everybody just by you breathing in the air around you.
These tools can analyze medical images, such as X-rays and MRIs, with remarkable precision, aiding radiologists in detecting subtle abnormalities that could indicate disease. This level of accuracy could lead to earlier interventions, potentially saving lives and reducing healthcare costs associated with late-stage treatments.
They want to reduce healthcare costs.
And most importantly, AI will facilitate medical research by accelerating the drug discovery process. Machine learning algorithms can analyze molecular structures and predict the efficacy of potential drugs, significantly reducing the time and resources required for preclinical testing. This accelerated pace of drug development could lead to breakthrough treatments for various conditions, addressing unmet medical needs and improving patient outcomes. Number 2, AI-powered assistants everywhere. AI-powered assistants, like the ones we're already starting to see, are poised to become even more commonplace both at work and in our homes within the next decade. These assistants, equipped with advanced artificial intelligence, will be capable of handling a variety of tasks, from scheduling meetings and organizing emails to providing personalized recommendations and reminders. In the workplace, they'll streamline workflows, helping with data analysis, project management, and even virtual collaboration. At home, they'll integrate seamlessly into our daily lives, managing household tasks, providing entertainment, and even assisting with health monitoring. Imagine having a digital helper that not only answers your questions, but also anticipates your needs and offers proactive assistance. With continued advancements in AI technology, these assistants will become increasingly sophisticated, learning from our interactions to better serve us in ways we can't yet imagine. Number 3, human-like robots. In the next...
I actually did want to mention, isn't it interesting? Why do they always have the desire to make the robots look human? Like an example of that, they had a human robot using a vacuum. Don't we have Roombas? Why do they have to make it look human? That's really interesting to me. It's almost like there's a spirit behind the creation that has a desire for that human body.
10 years, we are going to see more human-like robots around. These robots will be better at talking and understanding their surroundings, making them seem more like us. Already, we're seeing hints of this with OpenAI's new robot, which can almost chat like a human and know what's going on around it. As technology gets smarter, these robots will become even more lifelike. These human-like robots could help us in lots of ways. They might assist with tasks at home, like cooking or cleaning. They could also work in places where it's dangerous for humans, like deep underwater or in space. Plus, they might even become companions for people who need extra help or just some company. But there are also things to think about. As robots become more human-like, we'll need to make sure they're safe and that they don't take over the jobs that humans need. We'll also have to consider how we treat them and what rights they might have. So while it's exciting to think about robots becoming more like us, there's still lots to figure out along the way. Number 4, advanced gaming and virtual worlds. Gaming and virtual worlds will get better in the next 10 years. Imagine playing games where the characters think and act like real people. That's what advanced gaming will be like. AI will make the games more exciting and challenging. It will feel like you're in the real world, but it's all virtual. Virtual worlds will become more immersive. You'll be able to explore vast digital landscapes with AI-powered creatures and characters. These worlds will be like alternate realities, where you can do things you can't do in the real world. AI will make these virtual worlds more realistic by generating lifelike environments and interactions. Imagine walking through a virtual forest and encountering animals that behave just like real ones, or meeting virtual people who can have conversations with you, just like real friends. AI will make all of this possible, making virtual worlds more engaging and entertaining. Number 5, automated AI weapons. The integration of AI in weapons technology.
It can do all kinds of things. And when something can do all kinds of things, I get a little bit worried.
Become more immersive escapes with AI will make these virtual work environments and interactions. Imagine walking through a virtual forest and conversations with you, just like real friends. AI will make all of this possible, making virtual worlds more engaging, and AI in weapons technology brings with it significant concerns. Imagine a scenario where machines make decisions about who lives and who dies without human intervention. It's not just about the capability to inflict harm, it's the lack of discernment between combatants and innocent civilians. This technology, if misused or obtained by hostile entities, could result in catastrophic consequences, where conflicts become even more deadly and unpredictable. The potential for widespread devastation is alarming, as automated systems could fasten the scale of casualties beyond what we've ever seen. The urgency to regulate and govern the development and deployment of AI in weaponry is paramount, as the stakes involve not just military superiority, but the protection of human lives on a global scale. Number 6, generative AI will become smarter than humans. Instead of rigid exchanges, AI systems will converse with us effortlessly, adapting to complexities in language, tone, and context. Think about chatting with a friend who understands you on a deeper level, anticipating your needs and responding with empathy and understanding. This evolution will be driven by advances in natural language processing, NLP, and machine learning algorithms, allowing AI to decipher the complexities of human speech with remarkable accuracy. Just like how we learn from experience, these AI systems will continuously refine their understanding through interactions, becoming more adept at grasping the subtleties of human conversation. Moreover, as AI becomes more integrated into our daily lives, from virtual assistants to customer service bots,
Oh, sounds really choppy now. Sounds really choppy here now.
Interactions will only grow. People want to feel heard and understood, whether they're seeking assistance or simply engaging in casual conversation. As a result, developers will prioritize creating AI systems that not only provide accurate information, but also connect with users on a personal level. Number 7.
Give a little closing on tonight, huh? Well, actually, the technology, like right now I've got to go in for a brain scan. And I don't want to do that. I don't know, but I want to find out what could cause some of my vision problems. So there's the good side, then there's the bad side. Is you say they want to make you healthier, but you know how many appointments you're going to have to actually. What I pay in medical bills because they want to see you in 3 months. They want to do this and they want to test that and they want to do that, and it's like it just doesn't end. So,
Marsha, what if they don't find a brain?
Well, then I guess automaton.
I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
I'm used to it. But all I'm saying is, yeah, but I don't know. Holistically, I'd rather go natural now. I'm ready to just say bye. Right? Yeah. Right. Right.
Did you say organic weed? Oh, weed. Weeds. Okay. Oh, all right. So no,
Robert.
my thoughts are all over the place. No, this technology, it's just I love the whole Tesla and the whole talk about using the ether and for energy and electricity of some sort. I mean, you got DC, AC, who knows what other C's you got. So we didn't see the batteries on the one thing, and there was a thing with the batteries that these clay pots and yeah, just crazy. All the stuff that they've had. So yep, everything old is new again. Nothing new under the sun.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Robert and Marcia summed it up really well there. I would just like to say that, it's about how we use that technology. I guess, for the internet, as an example, we could get on here and spend countless hours watching cats playing pianos and dumb TikTok videos. Or you could use it to, potentially learn a skill or research something because all of the information from pretty much every book is available on the internet if you either want to spend the money or the time to purchase or download it. And there's always other ways around that. You could go to libraries. So it's just, it's about how we use the technology at our fingertips to the betterment of society. And, with a lot of these things, it's like they're just handing, almost like loaded guns to people with cell phones and kids. It's just, if you're not trained up and wise, then you're going to be led and distracted by these things very easily. And they're ripping families apart and they're, creating, smaller attention spans in kids. And I think, like you said, there's a pendulum to it, and if we're not real careful, that pendulum is going to swing real hard when we have a society of children who never grow up. So with that, go ahead.
I think everything's fine, but sweet. Yeah, no, I totally agree. And one thought that kind of came to my mind where you were talking just left my brain. So I will go over to Frankie because I literally evaporated from my brain.
Well, wait a minute. I have something to ask. What could you watch pimple popping, Robert?
You're muted.
Come on, watch it all day long. Or they over there they're cleaning the hooves and grinding them down.
Them videos are gross. That's some gross ass stuff.
I'm like, what are you talking about? And then,
but I know once you start watching it, though, you can't stop. You're waiting for it to end, and it never ends. It just keeps growing, and they keep pulling more out and more out. It's disgusting. It's hard.
They got the cute little spider running around, man.
See, that's what AI has brought us to, watching popping pimple videos. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing with our technology, ladies and gentlemen. Don't strike us. We're just watching pimple popping videos.
We're getting dumbed down.
Yeah,
we're getting dumbed down, definitely.
All right, and last but not least, Frankie.
Yeah, so it's just you're right about the way they're making the robots look like humans. It's like they want to integrate us, and is the end goal putting their consciousness into a robot that'll live forever, and then they will rule this realm for eternity. You know what I mean? That seems like that could be the end game.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people that would take that deal. They're like, oh, I don't have to die. I can just transfer my body over to this and I'll live forever. Yeah, sign me up. Sounds like heaven.
And they won't offer that to us. The robots will work for them, but they'll have those mechanical bodies. That's the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they'll put
we'll literally be their slaves.
They'll put the chips in their head to integrate with the AI. They'll do exactly.
Yeah, that palm scanning, the AI chip, that stuff's been around since the early 90s, early 2000s. I mean, they've been talking that as the mark of the beast for the last 20 years. So it's just, nothing new under the sun, like Robert said. And just hold on to the power of God within and keep popping pimples like Marsha over there. Right? Yeah. And maybe Marsha will be like the Tin Man and they'll give her a brain.
Awesome.
Have a good night, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Dig deep.
Yep. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Check us out tomorrow for the Peace Seekers episode, part 7 of the reading of the Book of Enoch. And until next time, everybody. Shabbat shalom. Not for me anymore, but shalom, everybody. See you tomorrow and next week. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.
Search a matter out. You raise up a standard to beat back our enemy. You establish this realm, and like a scroll, you spread it out. Dig deep, search it out. Dig deep, seek it out. Dig deep, go on and walk it out. Dig deep, I give you oil to fill up your cup. Enough to fill up your lamps. Yeah, you keep them trimmed, you keep them neat, you keep on worshiping. power.